Hi guys. Um, Welcome to the show. Um, Today we're gonna look at some quadratic equations and how to solve them. Okay, how will we go about this? First things, we have the general equation of a quadratic function, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. And we have some examples that we have to solve. So first things first, we have that when we're solving, what we're actually doing right now is factorizing. True factorizing method. Now, factorizing. Now, not every quadratic equation can be factorized, but some can. And definitely the ones that I'm showing you as examples, they can be factorized. So, um, how does factorizing look? Like it looks like this right here, okay? Like x plus a number and then x plus another number. Both of those two are multiplying each other. And how do we find out those numbers? The sit and the W. Well, for starters, we can see that whenever we're factorizing, what do we do first? We go sit times x plus W times x, and that should give you the B value. So we get that it's B equals set plus W. And then for the C value, that's right here. That's the independent one. This one right here. Okay, this that's just the number without the x. How do we calculate that number? Easy. Um, Set plus W. I mean set times W. This is a multiplication, okay? And why? Because you see that's how we get the number that doesn't have x in it, which would be C. And let's use a start. For example, we got x squared minus 5x minus 14. So a number that if we add it up, we get minus 5, and if we multiply it, we get minus 14. And those two numbers would be 7 and 2. Because see, minus 7 and 2, they add up to be minus 5, and then minus 7 times 2 equals minus 14. So we check, and it's correct. And you guys, in order to find out these numbers, you would just have to trial and error, okay? But make sure in order to get that you're correct, 100% correct, they both have to follow. Like the B has to happen and the C has to also happen. This is what we call simultaneous equations. Okay. Um, Now what else? Then we would just put those values over here in the factorization. Okay. So we get the minus 7 and the plus 2. And then we have that the result would be 7, x equals 7. Why? Because the equation is equal to 0. So if we have the 7 minus the 7, I mean the 7 as the x value, then we have 7 minus 7, which equals 0, and then times something else, it will always give you 0. And that's the logic that it follows. Now for the minus 2 that we got here, it follows the same logic. Minus 2 plus 2 equals 0. Let's go to example number 2, which is a little bit trickier because now we have a 2 on the a value. Um, what do we do then? Well, we want to pass everything so that we can have a value of 1. So how do we do that? Simple. We multiply everything times 2 or the original a value. So 2 times x squared equals 2x squared plus 3.5x. That should give you the 7x plus 1 plus 3 halves, which would be 1.5. Now we go here and do the same procedure in which we get something that we add should give you 3.5, and something that we multiply should give you the 1.5. And what I found by trial and error was that it was 3 and zero point 0.5. And now we also get those numbers with opposite signs when we're finding x. So x will be minus 1/2 and x will be minus 3. Okay? So that solves problem number 2. Now let's go to number 3. So number 3, I decided to take a little bit of a different route, but nevertheless a similar route. So 3x squared plus 10x plus 3 equals 0. So I decided to factorize while having inside the factors the 3x. Now we can either do these or we can go like on step 2. Okay, like on step 2, and then we would have to be like right here, okay? Like right here. Like the thing that I just slashed. We would get 3 times x plus 10 thirds x plus 1. But we're not doing that this time. So we get 3x. And how do we find the values? Since we have a 3x, then we also need to have a 3 on B on the adding side. So it would be something times 3 plus something times 1. And then something times something equals 3. And we have found the values to be 3 and 1 because 3 times 3 equals 9 plus 1 equals 10. And then on the other side, when it comes to C, then we just have 3 times 1 equals 3. Now, see here we get the x values, but how do we get the x values if we have a 3x and not an x, right? Easy. You would actually get a 3x value, and then you would have to pass the 3 to the other side and divide, so you get 1/3. Instead of getting minus 1, you get 1/3. And here I've proven it because 3 times minus 1/3 plus 1 equals 0. Yes, because 3 times minus 1/3 equals minus 1, then plus 1, 0. And the other value, we don't have that problem because it's an x value. So x plus 3, we have that minus 3 plus 3 equals 0. Okay, and that's why it's minus 3. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you next time.